Hello, welcome to your yoga mat today. Today is day 16, and we are going to do a 30-minute yoga as healing. So, what I've been trying to do is kind of circulate different lengths of time, but also different kinds of practices. We started with a flow, and then we've had an energy practice, and then the last time we had kind of just a nice stretchy class. And this is more of really a healing class. I do a longer version of this every Wednesday for free on Facebook Live, and I think you're going to really love it. It feels good, and we are stepping into 5 days of self-care. And this is probably some of my favorite 5 days that we're about to come into are these. There is so much happening right now. I feel like I can't even quite wrap my head around it, and I don't know if you're feeling that way too. And I always know that the number one thing that I have to keep taking care of is myself. And I almost feel a little bit guilty when I say that, because I'm like, but there's so many other things to do and there's so many things I can be worrying about. But if we don't take care of ourselves, then we're of no use. I mean, we're of use, but you know what I mean. It's just, I feel like we get so depleted so quickly. And I almost get, I'm just going to say it, like I feel bitter because I know I haven't taken care of myself, and now I'm taking care of everybody else. I'm just being real with you all. And there is an African proverb that says, if there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do no harm. Did you hear that? If there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do no harm. What if we just made a serious commitment to befriending ourselves, to taking care of ourselves? How would that change your life? How would you show up differently? What would you do differently? So these next 30 minutes are for you. We're going to focus on releasing the hips and the low back a bit. We're going to start in a heart opener. So if you don't have a blanket, no big deal. Go grab a towel from your bathroom, and you're going to roll it up just like I did. And we're going to just start for about 1 minute on the back. So you're going to start with your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, blanket coming right at the armpit. So you can see it at the armpit and feel it probably on the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And then you're going to push with your feet so the flesh of the skin slides down. We're going to cactus the arms, and then your legs, you get to do whatever's comfortable. So some people like to stretch them out. I tend to go wide with my feet and then knock my knees in, feels the best. You can also do soles of the feet together. And if the blanket just doesn't work, as always, you just take it out. If there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do no harm. These next 5 days are for each of us to create a relationship with ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to create a value around what it means to fill up our own cup. And that we're never too busy for that. We are never too busy to make ourselves a priority. And I know that may mean we have to get up 15 minutes earlier or 5 minutes even earlier just to have a few minutes for ourselves. So with your heart open, take a moment, set an intention. What brought you to your mat today? And my intention for all of us is that we take time for self-care. We take time for ourselves. Good. Now we're going to stretch our legs out straight. We're still going to use that blanket under us. And we're going to reach the arms up over our head. Woo. Now, if this is too much on the shoulders, just cactus your arms or even put them out like a T out to the sides. And then you can point your feet and flex your feet. Very good. And then you're going to bring your arms by your sides. We're going to put the feet flat on the floor. We're going to just wake up a little bit through the core. Now, this isn't about doing hard sit-ups or anything like that. This is just about waking up the internal body here a little bit. So I want you to take your hands behind your head. Your feet are flat on the floor. The blanket is still under those, right at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. You're going to inhale here, and you're going to exhale, curl up. And you're like, oh, that blanket just helped me sit right on up. And it feels good. You're holding up. And then we're going to come on back down. Elbows go wide. So exhale, you're going to curl up. Elbows come in shoulder distance apart. And then inhale. So exhale. You're going to feel that there's some ease in this, and there's also some discomfort. There's a little bit of both. It's like life, right? Exhale, curl. Now here's the great news. We're not doing a lot of these. We're just waking up the belly. 2 more. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lay back down. 1 more. Exhale. Remember, you can do this without. You also always can take it out. Curl back down. Good. Now push into those feet. Elevate the hips. Oh, slide that blanket out or that towel. Oh my goodness, how good does that feel? Reach your arms over your head. Breathe in, nice, big, deep belly breath. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Rock side to side. All right, we're going to keep the right knee into the chest. Extend your left leg long. Heel down. Toes point straight up. Hold onto your right shin with both your hands. And then I want you to make some circles. Now, if you like, just hold on with your right hand and make the circles. And then the left hand, it can go on top of your left thigh. And then go the other way. Do your best to let that leg not be holding on here. Really let that leg relax and use your arm to circulate the movement. Good. And then we're going to extend the right leg to the sky, clasping our hands behind the back of the right leg. Now here, it might be helpful if your hamstrings are tighter to put your left foot on the floor. Otherwise, extend the leg up. Good. Now we're going to do a little movement here with the foot. So I want you to turn your foot. Now your arms are going to have to kind of slide a little bit. Turn your toes out. Kind of think of a half Mary Poppins foot. And then you're going to turn the toes so it's a little more like a duck foot. My hands are kind of helping that rotation. So turn your toes out, and it won't go as far as it would if you had a strap, but that's okay. You can still feel where it changes the stretch in the leg. Turn the toes in. 1 more time. Turn the toes out. Heel in, toes out. Ooh, that's more IT band maybe for some of us. And then turn the foot in. Notice where that changes the stretch. Keep your foot flexed. Inhale. Exhale, bend that leg in. Put your left foot on the floor so you can hook your right ankle above your left knee. And now thread your hands. So right hand between the legs and left hand to the outside. Flex your right foot. And keep your eyes open or closed. And as you close the eyes or you just take your gaze a little bit more inward or your drishti becomes a little softer, I want you to remind yourself, I am worth taking care of. You are worth taking care of. You are worth this time for yourself. Take another breath. Draw your left thigh a little bit closer. Good. And then release the clasp. Cactus your arms. We're going to take a thigh stretch. Now, some of you, you're going to want to unhook this right ankle, but we'll start bringing the legs to the right. And if you need to, just let that right foot come down to the floor. Some of you are going to like the foot clasped above the knee, just like you had it for this thigh stretch. Draw your tailbone towards the back of your left knee. Draw the left shoulder blade back onto the floor. If it's lifting up a little bit, do your best to keep it down. And imagine from the left side of your chest, across your rib cage, across your hip, across your thigh, it's all lengthening. So as your tailbone kind of moves forward a little bit, you're going to feel maybe more stretch through your left thigh. Good, and then bring it back up. Exhale, set the foot to the floor. All right, left leg comes in. Extend your right leg long, and either both hands on your right shin or just one hand, and then right hand to right thigh, make those circles. So 30 minutes is a shorter practice, but it doesn't mean go the other way that we can't be effective in our capacity to be able to, one, take care of ourselves, and two, to do some major releasing. Left leg to the sky. Clasp both hands behind your hamstring. Flex your foot. I'm not worried about how close your leg is, and we're not trying to grab hand to big toe right here. We're creating a little more muscle energy holding the back of the hamstring. So with your foot flexed, I want you to try to turn your foot out a little bit. And you can use your hands, so kind of pull the inner groin with your right hand towards you a little more. And then exhale, turn your toes in. So now pull a little more with your left hand to help the outer leg move out more. And then turn it again, so external rotation. Turn the toes in, internal rotation. One more time, external, internal. Good, bring it back to center, breathe in. Exhale, put your right foot on the floor and bend your left knee. Sukhi Randrasana, right foot up off the floor, thread your hands behind, so left hand between the legs, right hand to the outside, figure four. Draw your right thigh towards you. Keep reminding yourself, I am worth taking care of. And that could bring up some emotion, right? That could make us feel almost a little bit vulnerable. Maybe even it makes us feel, we talked about this in the tapping yesterday, sometimes we feel guilty. We can feel guilty for taking care of ourselves. Last breath, draw the right thigh a little bit closer into you, left outer hip away. And then release your clasp, cactus your arms, breathe in, right foot to the floor. Exhale, legs to the left. Feel free, unhook that top leg. Just let your left foot come down underneath your right knee. Gazing up towards the sky, or you can even look towards your right hand. Draw your tailbone down. So you're actually kind of lengthening the tail. You're going to feel your pelvis shift a little bit as you do that, and it's a much bigger stretch across your thigh. Any pain in the knee, please unhook that ankle from the top of the outer leg. One more breath. Good. Bring it all the way back up. Exhale, foot to the floor. You're going to hug your knees into your chest. Take an inhale. Now we're going to do something called rock and roll. So if you're not comfortable rock and rolling, just roll to the right, come on up. But otherwise, hold on to the back of your hamstrings and you're going to rock forward and back. So right along the back, my pony kind of fell out here. Forward and back. So you're rocking back, you're rocking up. You're rocking back, you're rocking up. Find a rhythm. One more time. Rocking up. This time, come up to seated, right shin in front of left shin, rock up. Good. Right shin in front of left shin. So your feet are going to be right underneath your knees. We're going to reach the arms up towards the sky. Breathe in. And then right hand to the right, left arm's going to stretch up and over. Cactus your top arm. Breathe in. And then exhale, you're going to sweep the fingertips towards the floor. Keep the left sitting bone down and tap the fingers to the earth. So inhale, open it up. Now watch this bottom shoulder from popping forward. Keep that arm bone back, cactusing the arm. So both shoulder blades on the back. And then exhale, keep the left sitting bone down as best you can. Reach the fingertips. One more time, breathe in. Exhale. Now stay here, stay for a full breath, breathe in. Really deep into that left rib cage, breathe out. Now stay down, but walk your hands to the center, lengthening your heart forward over those shins. Forehead coming, maybe some of you toward the floor or to the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't. If it's very intense, just walk your hands back closer to you. No problem. So we're really releasing outer hip bank here. We're releasing through the low back. See if you can move the heart a little further forward. And then walk the hands in. Good. Lean back. Switch the shins. Left shin in front. Left hand to your left. Inhale. Right arm's going to go up and over. Bending that bottom elbow as you exhale. Hug the arm bone back. And then inhale. Cactus your top arm. Really feel both shoulder blades on the back. Keep the right sit bone down. And then exhale. Coil down. Forehead toward the floor. Fingertips tap. Inhale. Open. Exhale. One more. Breathe in. Exhale. Now you're going to stay for a breath here. Is there an area of your life where you know that you have difficulty befriending yourself? Walk yourself to the center. Maybe it's about something specific, about your own body even. Maybe it's your body. How can we love our bodies more? Think of everything that your body does for you. Takes you everywhere, does everything. Walk it back in. And I don't think there's probably a woman on the planet, or maybe even a man, who at some point doesn't want something to be different. But what if we could just shift that lens, you guys? We talked about attention last week, and where you put your attention is where you're putting energy. Is that really how you want the relationship to be with your body? And so finding ways that you can really appreciate all that it does for you. It changes everything. It'll change the way you want to eat. It'll change the way you want to move. Let's come around all fours. My TED Talk will be over in another 10 minutes. I'm just kidding. Tabletop position. All right, cat and cow, really one of the best things we can do for our spine. So belly dropping down. Inhale, lift your heart, your gaze. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. So I call this class healing class. I usually do very minimal standing poses, just so you know. Don't turn it off. You still need it. Exhale, round. They feel so good. Inhale. Exhale. Now this is like freestyle cat and cow. So I'm going to take circles. I'm going to take my ribs right, belly down, ribs left, and arching up. If you like to kind of go back toward a child's pose and make more figure 8 movements, that's just fine. So just like you freestyle and all kinds of things, we can do it in yoga too. Switch your direction. If you're going one way, I want you to go the other way. Good. And then back to tabletop. Breathe in. Let's go all the way to the belly. I'm going to scooch my knees back a little bit. Get the belly all the way to the floor. Take your hands back alongside you, palms facing down. Both feet to the floor. If it helps, stretch one leg back at a time. And then inhale. Keep the hands down. Keep the tops of your feet down. My palms are touching the earth. Thumbs away from my body. Just lift your head and chest. So if you have back pain currently, just really easy does it. Maybe don't even do this part. But this is good to strengthen the back. Try to get the finger or the pinky toes down a little bit more. Lift your chest up a little bit higher. Good. And then forehead releases to the ground. Now we'll take a couple cobras. We're going to do what we call a rolling cobra. Lift your shoulder heads up. Now you can go no hands. If you're working with more tenderness, you can go a little higher if you like. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Breathe in. As though your heart is going forward, then up, and then it curls back. Those of you coming a little higher. And down. One more time, breathe in. And down. Tuck the toes. Now you're just going to go towards child's pose. If those of you want to go toward a plank, you're totally welcome to. It's always your practice. Let's keep the toes tucked in our child's pose, forehead to the floor, really allowing soles of the feet to stretch. And I want you to walk your fingertips as far forward so you can really get some nice extension through the spine. You might notice those multifidus muscles that go between the vertebrae because you can feel the stretch as you continue to move the fingertips forward. And then lift up off the forehead, tuck your toes. We'll take a downward facing dog. So we're going to open up the feet. Now if you're working with a shoulder injury, just stay on the knees. Walk it out into puppy pose, otherwise downward facing dog. Good, and then breath in through your nose, Ujjayi breath. Let it go. We're going to bring our right foot forward between the hands. Now, a lot of you like a down dog kick. You can put that in today because it's healing. I'm going to come down to my knees and then just bring the right foot forward, okay? Makes it a little bit easier. All right, stay on the fingertips. I'm going to untuck my back toes. And we're going to just stay in the lunge here for a moment. So inhale here. And then exhale here. Another breath, just like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to take the fingertips off the floor, so you're going to have to push into that front foot, hug it energetically towards the back knee, and then rise up. Breathing in. So the degree that you feel this stretch here has a lot to do with the positioning of the pelvis. My pelvis is tilting forward a lot. I'm going to feel it less. If I keep those frontal hip points lifting up and the tailbone dropping down so the pelvis is neutral, I'm going to notice more stretch. Some people like to drop very deep. That's not necessarily necessary, but you want to find that point where you're noticing some sensation happening on those front hip flexors. Take the hands to the heart. Breathe in. Left elbow, bring it across to the outside of your right knee, and let's just take an easy twist. If this is too much, left hand down, right arm up, okay? Those of you that want to go deeper with things, you know what to do. You could always tuck the back toes and you could lift the back knee. Take another breath. Now we're going to stay in this twist, but we're going to let the left hand now for everybody come to the ground. We're going to slowly straighten that front leg and reach the right arm to the sky. Keep the sole of your right foot for today on the ground. Sometimes we'll flex the foot in the Ardha Hanuman, but today I want you to keep the sole of the foot down. I'm going to stretch the top of the foot here a bit. Open it up. Has a little bit of a similarity to revolved triangle, slightly. Noticing the outer right hip drawing back in space. Extend the sternum forward. Very good. And then bend that front knee. Now tuck your back toes, lift the knee up. Walk towards the middle of your mat and then just spin it all the way around to the back of your mat. Nothing fancy. We're just doing the same thing you did on the other side. So I'm going to talk you through it. Don't worry if you can't see your phone or your computer. Fingertips are down. You're in that low lunge. Both hands, one on each side of your foot. Gaze is forward. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. And then push into that front heel, energetically squeeze your back knee, front foot together and rise up, Anjaneyasana. Again, noticing your pelvis. What can you do to establish a connection to the sensation that's happening in the right side? Drawing the tailbone down a little bit more, lifting your sternum up a little higher. And then we'll take the twist, hands to prayer. Breathe in. Right elbow to the outside of your left leg. Breathe out. You can remember, you can do the variation with the right hand down on the inside and the left arm to the sky. Very good. Now we'll all take the right hand down to the ground. Straighten that front leg and reach your left arm up to the sky. Keep the top of the foot for today, this variation, sole of the foot on the floor. Wrap the outer left hip back so your right inner thigh is even going back behind you. Hug the right shoulder blade in towards the heart. Very good. And then top hand comes down. Now breathe in. Listen careful. Bend your front knee. We're going to vary it just a little bit. Your right toes, I want you to take the shin, kind of kick it out like it's a kickstand, and your left leg is going to sweep back. So you're in a modified side plank, balancing on the right hand, the right arm straight. Start to revolve the eye of the elbow forward so the shoulder blade comes onto the back, and then bend that top leg. Reach back, and you're going to catch your foot. Kick the foot back and open the chest up. It's a baby dancer, right? Much easier than when we're standing. Open up the shoulder, open up the front of the hips. Scoop the tailbone forward as your thigh bone keeps going back. And then with control, release. Leg back, arm up, breathe in. Exhale, top hand down. Now take that shin, bring it behind you, and we'll switch sides. Left shin off to the left. Right arm's going to reach up. Breathe in. Exhale, lift your right leg off the floor. Bend your right knee. Inhale, grab the outer edge of your foot. Turn the eye of the elbow forward on your bottom arm. Kick the foot back. Open the chest. So as your right thigh is going to keep going back, your tailbone keeps going forward. Opening up. Take another breath. With control, let go. Reach the arm up. Exhale, take the hand down and carefully swivel that left shin behind you. Tuck both your toes. Down dog, wider stance. So go as wide as your mat. Walk your hands back a little closer towards your feet. You can even take your feet off your mat. Good. Now notice that difference in the spine from earlier. Nice symmetrical pose here to end. Create that length between the vertebrae again. Hug your outer upper arms in. And then walk the feet back in. Come down to kneeling. Cross your ankles. Let's meet on the back one more time. Scoot yourself to the middle of your mat. Hold on to those shins. Lift your spine nice and tall. And then you're going to roll down. Or you can hold your shins and let the feet come off the floor. Either way. Rock side to side. Now you're going to take your right knee on top of your left knee in Supta Gomukhasana, holding onto the heels or the outer edges of the feet, or if this is hard, you can even hold the outer shins, all right? Knees, one's right on top of the other. You're going to open up the feet and then draw the feet towards your shoulders. It's a very, very big pose. Gets into the piriformis here more. Coming back to remembering that you are worth this time. And I know it's hard. I do. I feel it. I feel my attention wanting to go in so many other places. I also feel like just with this separation that we've had, there's just kind of these weird psychological games that sort of go on. Even just having to be 6 feet apart, it's like we can't be near, you know, and I can feel it kind of playing in my mind. Does somebody not want to be close to me? Like, what's the matter with me? You know, they don't make sense, and you know it, but it's what pops in your mind. Take another breath. Good, and then let go. Now I want you to take your legs up towards the sky, both of them at the same time. Hold on to the backs of your legs. Just let it drain for a moment. And then bend the knees. Left knee on top of right knee. Same pose, second side. Breath in and breath out. Do you know that healing really is about wholeness? When I think of yoga as healing, it's about being whole. It comes back to that teaching that we've all heard a million times, that there isn't anything outside of ourselves that we need for the fulfillment of our own joy, that it's all within you. And yet there's just this constant inner desire, because we're human and life has a sense of humor, that we're going to always be searching for validation, searching for acknowledgement, searching for purpose, searching for, you fill in the blank. And then take the legs up one more time. Hold on to the backs of the legs. Flex your feet. Point your feet. One more time, flex your feet. Bend the knees, set the feet down, arms by your sides, feet hip distance apart. Now for me, my body, I can sense some prana, some tingling happening in my hip flexors. I'm going to just lift up all of us into bridge pose. If you had a block, you are welcome to take a supported bridge. Those of us that don't, you work your upper arms in toward each other. Clasp your hands if you like, or if your shoulders are tight, hold the outer edges of your mat. Let the front of those hips release. So if you do have a block, I really encourage you to use it here, but please don't worry, we're not here that long if you don't. If you're in the supported bridge, just surrender. If there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do no harm. So hard to let go of what other people think, right? To feel that confidence within ourselves. Take one more breath. And then arms overhead. If you're in supported bridge, just lift up, come off the block. We're not using the block. Come onto your tiptoes, lifting the heels, and lower vertebrae, nice and easy, vertebrae. Soles of your feet together, yogis. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. We'll take about a minute in Shavasana, not long. Arms by your sides. You can stay like this if you like, with the hand on the heart and the belly, or just let the legs extend out. From your heart, feel energy move, like we did in meditation, down into your hands. Start to open and close your own hand. hands. Reach your arms over your head. Take a big breath in. Inhale. Bend your knees. Connect your feet to the floor. Exhale. Roll to your right side. Press your way back up to an easy seat. Palms in at our heart space. If there is no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do no harm. We do these practices, yogis, to build up our self-care, but to build up our resilience, to develop our sense of love and connection to ourselves, where we develop a relationship where we feel at home with ourselves. Because as Marianne Williamson says, we don't serve the world by playing small. And when we shine our light, we give other people permission to do the same. So as you draw thumbs to third eye, thank you for taking this time to brighten your light again. And it was my honor to guide you and be with you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Go be awesome, friends. Thank you.